Hello, RJB here, and I am back again with replays just for you. Today we've got the very real, the very one and only winner of the ASL Season 9, QueenTube, or also known as Queen, previously known as Zero. And he's here playing on the Zerg, of course, and he's up against none other than Mong, who is using the name HJU1122. And then Mong is here on the top left of the map, whereas Queen is on the middle left of the map. I'm kind of curious to see how this one's going to pan out. Queen has some experience on fastest map. He has played 1 vs 1 before. Not a lot, but I do think he has about 50 matches under his belt for 1 vs 1 on fastest, and maybe about another 50 for team play. So he's got about 100 matches of experience, which is not a lot, but for players of his level, can be just enough to be really good at fastest. I mean, they have the speed, they have the knowledge, they have the build orders in their mind, so to speak, to improvise with, and they know and remember a build order just after seeing it just one time, and they know how to apply it. They know how to improvise, create stuff. Pretty much what it comes down to, they have everything they need in their skill set to make fastest map work. We've seen it with Mong, we've seen it with Brain, we've seen it with Light, we've seen it with many other pro level players or actual pro players who have done so. So Mong starts off with a 8 barrack, followed by a depot and another barrack. He is not going for 3 barracks, he's going for only 2 and a very quick and early gas. Followed up right by another academy before making a depot. There comes the depot, so he's got gas, depot, academy all on the way. So he'll have stim and fire bats out pretty damn soon. But Queen is already starting his first extractor. Right there, he's got a pool almost finishing up. He's moving a drone there to the front to seal up his entrance or to prevent Marines from sneaking in. Although I do think he put that hatchery a little bit far away. And there's a lot of room right there and right here for Marines to walk through. Also, a Marine is just arriving here on the scene, and it is planning, at least I think so, on stopping this from happening. Although Zerglings have spawned and Zerglings are on the way. 2 Marines there also on the way, but Marines are pulling back. Marine is moving into the base to get some information and see what Queen is up to, but he doesn't get in there, gets prevented. So only a single sunken there in the front, quite risky, and the placement, as I mentioned before, is pretty far away. Marines can just walk through here, and probably half of the Marines would die, but half of the Marines sneaking in is very dangerous. So now we have medics on the way there for Mong. He already has a factory on the way, which is also extremely early. Extremely early factory, extremely early academy, extremely early medics. All facilitated by that 2 barrack opening that we don't often see for Zerg versus Terran, or Terran versus Zerg, however you want to say it. We don't see it often. Lairs already started. It's halfway done, and it will finish at about 350 or 345. Well, it has to be 350, I assume. Just going to keep that open there on the bottom. 345, 350. That's what I'm gambling on. Second sunken there coming up, third sunken there also coming up, and a lot of Marines here in the front depot there as well to make the entrance a little bit smaller, make it harder for those Zergs to sneak in and get information. Also Starport on the way, which leads me to believe that Mong is definitely going for a very quick dropship attempt with medics and Marines. Should be about 6 Marines, 2 medics. I assume that he's going to load up into the dropship and fly straight into Queen's base, but Queen has a Spire already on the way, and those Mulisks might finish before the dropship even finishes itself. And then the very small number of Marines is going to backfire for Mong really significantly and really hard, and it might even be the case where Queen just wins by default from the moment he has those Mulisks out on the map. It's all going to be a race against the clock here, because the dropship has to come out before the Mulisks, and the Marines have to arrive and land inside of Queen's base before the Mulisks have spawned. He does have some time. The control tower will finish right about the same time as the Spire finishes, or maybe even before. Actually, it will finish way before the Spire finishes. The Spire is pretty far behind on the control tower, as you can see right there. It's not going to sync up, which means that dropship might finish before the Mulisks finish. is already going for a science facility. He's got a tank there out on the middle of the map, moving to push this front. He doesn't have extended vision, but because these sunkens are so close to each other, he does not need extended vision to take down that frontal portion. But a tank, only being a single tank, is going to take some time to tear through these sunkens. As another tank arrives on the scene though, it might speed up a little bit. Dropship there on the way, he's making fire bats, so he's going for a fire bat drop on those drones. And the Mulisks have been queued up here for Queen. He's got 7 Mulisks on the way. And he's put some Zergs there in the corner to get vision of that corner, which is pretty damn smart because the dropship is a real option, which I think Queen is aware of, because Queen knows that this push here from Mong is quite slow. Oh no, looks like the fire bats have already finished and have been loaded up into the dropship. It flies through an Overlord. Queen is not going into intercept it. He goes back. He probably thinks there's Marines in there, but it's fire bats. Fire bats are loading next to the drones. The drones getting fired down. The drones getting stimmed down. And the drones go down on the very first attack there from Mong. He gets the remaining drones there as nope. Does not get the remaining drones. Pusher in the front still continuing. And now those Mulisks are moving to the front to try and stop this push from happening. I do honestly think that if that dropship had been taken down or sniped or had been prevented, or the drones had stayed alive, I honestly do think Queen would have had a really great shot at winning the game here. He still has a shot at... No, he no longer has a shot at winning. I just saw those turrets, and those turrets are pretty darn strong, and there's no way he can tear through those turrets to take down those SCVs. And the frontal push here is also just broken through all the sunkens there with the help of those 2 tanks. Now he only has about 9 Mulisks here to defend against those Marines, and Mong has some pretty darn solid Marine against Muta Micro. Just gotta ball your Marines up, keep them very tight-knit, close to each other, and the Mutalisk will take a lot of damage just by going in, trying to micro. And Queen here gives up, he knows he's lost the game, and Mong takes home the first win. Without much effort, really. It was a really quick win. Everything went exactly as he wanted it to. It was very close for Queen, though. Queen was very close to coming out on top, but just a single mistake by not pulling his drones away from that dropship, assuming that it was Marines, and as firebats cost him the game. Definitely not worth it to risk it. If he had just ran those drones away, he could have sniped those firebats with the Mutalisks, but it was not to be. Well, but we're in luck today because we have a second game here on the way. There's a second game between these 2 players, maybe even a third game. So let's load up that second game right away without further ado. Now game number 2 has the exact same matchup. The Queen, of course, on the Zerg and Mong on the Terran. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna lose? We'll have to find out. One thing I know for sure though is we're gonna see some sweet micro. And hopefully a pretty sweet and interesting match displaying skill of the highest level imaginable. At least so I hope. Because of course you do have to take into account that Queen does not have as much fastest map experience as Mong does. Whereas Mong has at least over 1,000 games by now on fastest map, so he has a lot of experience and knows his stuff. He knows what to do, why to do it, and he has seen a lot of different scenarios. Whereas Queen has not seen as many scenarios as Mong has on fastest map, because of course there's only a limited amount of stuff you can see, having played about 51 versus 1 on fastest. So that does really limit his ability to play. For example, the knowledge that you shouldn't be placing your your hatchery this far away from the choke in a Terran versus Zerg. Although it is less important than it is in a Zerg versus Protoss, where you really have to place that hatchery even closer to the choke point. So Mong goes for a +1 command center. That means that we're not going to be seeing any action like last time. We're not going to be seeing a push. We're not going to be seeing a firebat drop. We're not going to be seeing a dropship. We're not going to be seeing firebats either. We're not going to be seeing any of that anytime soon. He wants to go for a big economy, grow big, grow of size, and out macro his opponent, become bigger than his opponent's economy can handle. That's basically his idea. And I like the idea. I really like it. Although from an observer's perspective, it is a little bit less exciting because the action gets delayed by I think about 2 or 3 minutes in total, because you will have more units eventually, but your opponent being untouched and having the ability to just build up will of course likewise have more units, more buildings, more sunkens, more everything he needs to fight against you. Nonetheless, it is a race against the clock for both players. It's a race against the clock. So a very early extractor once again for Queen. So nothing out of the ordinary happening there. He's got those Zerglings out as well to scout the map or protect his choke. He only has 2 Zerglings this time around. Didn't go for 4 like he did last time because he has not been scouted yet. So it is safe to assume he will get that sunken up in the front without any issue. As if he's scouting it, as if he finds the creep, but it runs right past because he's only scouting the chokes and he didn't actually notice it. It's honestly really hard to notice the creep on the minimap. I've made the mistake myself once and it just scoots right past. Marine went down there on the side. Zergling there came out victorious. 3 barracks is now finished up for Mong. Got an academy there on the way and another depot as well. Whereas if we're looking at Queen's base, he already has that lair up and morphing. It's only just now started, so it's gonna take a while. He's already adding on a second gas, which is extremely early. He will only have about, well, to be exact, he'll only have about 9 drones mining minerals. One of the drones selected is on the gas. Adding on a 3rd hatchery. That choice to already start mining gas only on 15 drones is going to slow down his economy significantly, because that's 3 drones less mining minerals, which could make a huge difference in the long run. Because I think that it takes about, it might put him at a deficit of about 400 minerals as compared to if he didn't. And he won't really have the minerals to spend the gas he's getting in. But nonetheless, he's going for a high-risk den. He's not going for mutalisks as he did last game. He wants to go for lurkers, I assume. The den should be finishing up right about the same time as the lair, and then we're going to be seeing lurker aspect, and he will have a lot of gas to make lurkers and high-risks with. His drone count now on 23, whereas Mong is on 30 SCVs there in total, already mining from 3 gazers. That means about 20 or maybe 18 SCVs there on the minerals. 4th gazer already finished up, which is very, very early. But look at this, he's not building on a machine shop, he's just going for 2 starports right off the bat. Off the back of those 3 barracks marine pump. Of the 3 barracks marine pump, not those, because that doesn't make sense grammatically speaking. So he tries to go in here in the front just to see what's up. What does Queen have? He sees that there's 4 sunkens there, although I think he saw that with the scan. Because he didn't physically move forward, because he doesn't want to lose the marine. But he at least knows that he cannot barge through this front door with those marines. Machine shop has now been added on. 1 starport finished, 2nd starport also finished. There's no armory on the way just yet. He's now making the science facility and a 3rd starport. And he's getting marine weapon upgrade level 1 as well. So he's planning on sticking to those marines and using those marines to their fullest potential for at least the foreseeable future, or at least the next 5 or so minutes, before switching over to probably something else. But this might come to bite him and hurt him quite badly, because those lurkers there in the front almost finished up. Now, Mong does have a scan there in his base with energy. He's got a science facility there on the way, but no science vessel yet, and he doesn't have an engineering... I'm blind, I'm stupid. He has an engineering bay, but no turrets, that's what I meant to say. So lurkers there finishing up. Lurkers gonna move forward there to kill those marines there in the front, I'm sure. And then maybe go for a push onto Mong. He burrows up right next to the marines. The marines have to run away. Mong, with a very quick reaction there, notices it and immediately runs away with the stim upgrade to prevent damage, even splits them up, even goes in there. So that's a very quick, very great awareness there from Mong. Keeps his marines split up. Queen decides against going any further, any deeper, but there comes a scan. He takes advantage of Queen not being fully aware of the moment and having his attention elsewhere, namely his base, where he's now already morphing a hive and adding on a lot of hatcheries. He's mining from 3 gas at the moment. He's got 35 drones there in total. He saw the scan, so he burrows up his lurkers at his hive, expecting something to be flying in to once again maybe go for a firebed drop or a marine drop on his minerals. But he couldn't be farther from the truth, because it's vessels instead, and the radiate is almost finished up, which means we're going to be seeing Mong go for the radiate on those drones, which now raises the question, does Queen have burrow upgrade or not? He doesn't have Scorches ready or Scorches on the way because he does not have a Spire, so no Spire. He might be going for just a pure ground mass of Ultralisk, Zerglings, and Lurkers with a Dark Swarm. But Mong there, trying to go in, touching and feeling, approaching. There's a single Spore in between those vessels, and of course Hylisk as well. Hylisk there scaring those vessels away, but the vessel's trying to sneak around. He will manage, though. Will he? Will he manage to get through? He managed to get through with one vessel. One vessel gets irradiated off on the drones. The drones now have to unstack. He unstacks the drones quite successfully, but he's still gonna get some damage off on those drones. They're in that pile, but only a single drone there goes down out of the 7 he has selected. It's actually really good there for Queen. So one vessel for one drone. More vessels already here on the way. He built a second Spore there to try and defend his drones. Also more drones just now finishing up. He's trying to go in from the side here with those vessels, and Queen is responding to it. Mong notices that those Hylists are moving, so he turns around, goes back to the front, where he's now using those vessels to extend the vision range of those tanks to try and push that front down. Inside his base though, he's now on 4 starports, adding on 4 more factories, of which one has finished, adding on a 4th command center, a 2nd scan, a 2nd armory there as well. So he is looking to becoming really big, really quick, really soon, and have himself a really nice combination of units, mostly tanks, marines, vessels, and probably some other units in there as well, although I'm not too sure which ones he's going for. But he's got all the upgrades he needs there on the way. So almost has level 1 tank upgrade on the way, whereas Queen is going for Overlord speed at the moment, and he's going for Carapace for his ground forces. He's making more Lurkers. He's got the Filer Mount there already finished up, and this is a Spire. So he will, oh, there comes the Radiate. He's pulling off the drones. He burrows the drones, and the drones there staying alive. Only loses 2 of them, but there's a total of 4 vessels there. Only 2 radiates got off. 2 have to run away because there's no point in radiating burrowed drones because you only get a single drone. So he's just gonna put them there on the side and go back in at a later time. But 2 more vessels here coming in through the front, but they go down to the Spores and the Hylisk. So pretty well defended there from Queen. Mong's base now adding on even more factories. He's got 10 of them in total, of which 4 are still on the way. Whereas Queen is at the moment on 5 and 2 for a total of 7 hatcheries there. All the Sunkers in the front have gone down. 2 more vessels once again going in. Will he get the Radiate on the drones this time around? One of them makes it. Nope, none of them make it through. Do keep note of these vessels here on the side. They might go in any time in the near future. So the fighters have finished up. He's got the Consume upgrade finished as well. He's making another Evo chamber there. And this is also an Evo chamber, so we can get all those ground upgrades up and running and finished when he needs them, because he does need them against a Terran. He's got level 1 tank weapon upgrade on already finished up. He's got level 1 weapon upgrade for Marines finished up. There's SCVs now moving to the sides to build turrets and deny vision of the sides. He radiated 2 Lurker X there on the side because he couldn't physically get through with his vessels to kill the drone. So Queen is playing this one really, really well. His awareness is amazing. He immediately notices when something on the minimap moves and immediately responds to it and stops it from dealing damage to him. I'm really impressed by that one. There come the Scorches, taking down the vessels there on the side. Frontal push here still happening. There's a lot of tanks there spread out next to the hill. None of them on the hill, but he's planning on putting some on the hill there because I see some dropships here flying in to pick some up and land them on the hills. So Mong is playing a very strong, very controlled but slow approach here. He doesn't want to make a single mistake. He knows that if he doesn't lose tanks, he doesn't lose units, he is going to win this. Scorches are hunting for something or just getting vision. More tanks being loaded up on the hill there. That's a really strong position there for Mong. Lurkers are burrowing up next to the hill, so he's going to kill those tanks that are up on the hill. More tanks being loaded up there on the other hill. Queen is become pretty big here. He's become pretty big. He's got 66 drones there, 65 there for Mong. Tanks there on the hill going down. Tanks still on the other hill there though. He took down one of the dropships with Scorches, so it's only a single dropship capable of putting tanks there up on the hill. More tanks there moving to the sides. He's gonna siege them up there behind the hill, so he can land more tanks up on the hill and have protection from tanks behind the hill. He's going for a full containment before progressing deeper into Queen's base. But Queen has himself a pretty big mass. But the downside of this really great tank line here around his base means that he's gonna lose a lot of units once he decides to move out, because there's just so much physical space between the units and the targets. A lot of vessels there coming in with the radiates. A lot of overlords there. A lot of overlords vessels now also radiating the drones. Drones there going down. He actually only lost... Alright, he lost about 25 drones there in total. So that's a pretty big hit. But Queen will be capable of rebuilding his drone count pretty quick. But it's going to stop him from building units, which he so dearly and desperately needs at the moment. Because his hatchery count is still only on 8. Plus 1 as the hive, so 9 hatcheries in total. One there on the side, but another one there got taken down. Now Hylians are tripping out, trying to take down tanks up on the hill. He put on a Dark Swarm there on the side, puts the Lurkers under the Dark Swarm, and tries to take down those tanks up on the hill. But will he be able to do so in time? He does have 5 defilers there, and the fighter control is pretty on point so far. Spores there are being taken down. More vessels in the middle there, more tanks are moving in through the middle, and this actually looks like a done deal here for Mong, although now we see Queen going in, but he does not have Lurkers anymore, so it's only Hylians he's got here to go in. He's now turning, he's burrowed them. He burrowed them. A lot of vessel, Scorches there trying to kill vessels, but vessels are protected by Marines. This is actually an amazing setup here from Mong that I don't see any way of killing. And the upside is, if Queen had gone for Guardians, Mong would simply have had too many vessels. And he could have gone for Guardians to kill, Goliath to kill the Guardians. And once again, he goes in for the vessel rated on the drones there. And this time around, he's going to kill a lot more drones once again. Queen is very slowly being picked apart here by Mong, who's really displaying that he might just be the very best Terran versus Zerg player on fastest map in general. In all of fastest map, he might have the best Terran versus Zerg. It's a slow one, a very controlled one, but I don't see any weaknesses here. It's some really solid stuff he's displaying here. Marines now going in there as well, trying to take down the last remaining buildings there. He's going for the Queen's Nest and the Defiler's Mound and the Obsidian Chambers there as well. Queen low on minerals because he's low on drones, is trying his best to stay alive here, but I don't see it happening. Queen is just, Mong is just advancing closer and closer. Queen leaves the game, calls GG on Discord, where I'm sure the two players were talking and communicating. And Mong just shows a very strong and solid, quick 2-0 Terran versus Zerg. Queen didn't stand a chance, although he might have stood a chance in the first game. But in the second game, there's no way that the Queen was ever going to win this one. So yeah, thanks for watching. Quick series, kinda short, but I hope you enjoyed this one. And I hope you're looking forward to the next one. The next video soon to be coming out. Although the next few days are going to be about 30 degrees Celsius, and that's not a lot of fun. Well, it's not for me, because I'm not used to it. I'm not used to those temperatures. I'm used to like 5 degrees, maybe 20 degrees. 30 degrees is definitely above my pay grade. I didn't sign up for this.